And I am back. So proven experience is really important, and you can get an idea of their experience by taking a look at some of their past sales, and perhaps talking to some of their past clients as well to find out the experience that they had. You want to make sure that they're not just taking a listing because they want a listing, but they know they can feel confident they're going to be able to sell that listing. Communication, I think, is the most important thing. And you want to make sure that when you're meeting with a realtor, who you're going to be communicating with through that process is that realtor. There are a lot of teams out there now that are starting to happen, and the business model works for some. But you want to make sure that who you are meeting with is the person that you are going to have contact with for the majority of the process, because that is who you are essentially hiring. The other thing that's really important is to find out what their means of communication is. So, for example, for me, I wish I was a phone person. I'm not great on the phone, and that's something I'm going to work through for 2024. I'm a great believer in following up with a text message, email, and then a summary. I like to dot my I's, cross my T's. And I like to address potential questions before they're asked. So that's just my personality, but communication is really important to make sure that you're heard. And if there's an issue or a concern, you change your mind about something, that they're going to listen and address that. And then value. It's expensive when you're looking to sell. Keep in mind that it's always the seller that pays the full commission for both sides of for the realtor. So the person that is bringing the buyer is essentially paid by the seller as well. So you want to make sure that you're getting value for the commission, and that involves the marketing plan. And again, that can be written into the contract of purchase and sale in great detail, so you know exactly what you're paying for and what you're getting. And that ties into a lot of the transparency that is becoming more and more important, especially in the last couple of years. And I think it's a really good idea. So value is very important. You want to make sure they're doing everything from social media to video work, postcards, you name it, all the bells and whistles, because that's what you're paying for. And then trust. You want to be able to trust that agent. And how do you trust somebody you don't know? And that's where it comes into being important, that if you can hire somebody through a referral of somebody else that you trust that's used that agent, that's going to be a good indicator if you can trust that person. You can read testimonials as well. Those can be on Google, they can be on websites. You can ask for maybe the names of the last 3 houses that they've sold and see if they'll provide those people's names and contact information. And then, of course, making you a priority. Do they take a lot of listings and it's sort of more of a numbers game, or are they making you a priority? For me, for my business model, it's always been the same. I am a people-pleasing perfectionist, so I take on as much business as I can effectively handle and do a really good job. And I don't do that consistently throughout the whole year, because if I did, I would be very burnt out. So I tend to focus my listings during peak seasons, which in our real estate market here, the market starts to pick up in February. It builds up momentum until June, July, August, and then it'll start to slow down. Again, in September, you see a bit of a blip, and then it slows down again. So as far as timing for when you're going to sell, you want to take that into consideration depending on what your product is. So again, it depends what sort of property you're trying to sell. But we can go into detail with that maybe with another video. Anyway, I've talked your ear off, and I hope you find this of value, and I hope these videos get better as I go, and maybe I will be doing more of them. Thank you for your time.